Welcome back, gang. It's Delty from Deltius Gaming. In this video, I want to have you, the fans, decide which way I pursue my Stamina Dragonite build. On one hand, we got the Brutal Butcher. On the other, the Burning Butcher. So, I'm going to explain both, and then you're going to cast your vote on Twitter, in the poll on Twitter. Let's get started. Okay, so we're on my brainstorming board here that I got, and when we talk about Dragonites, they have some unique advantages, some unique skills they offer for a stamina class. One, we're going to make it fun, powerful, fast, stamina DK. Those are the requirements for this build. Now the Brutal Butcher is more for your average player. It's going to use all crafted armor. So the idea here is Hunding's Rage 5-piece, and then we're not going to have Maelstrom weapons because not a lot of you have those. So we're going to use Ashen Grip for more power, or Night Silence, or we can use a 2-piece Norionith. Now, where are we going to get our main source of damage? Well, it's going to be from Wrecking Blow. Wrecking Blow will be our primary attack, our main attack. That's our spammable attack. It also procs Norionith, so if you have the Lich Crystal set, it's actually pretty decent to use. Now the Dragonite by default can use these other weapons, but it has some cool stuff that I thought would be useful as the Burning Butcher. So if we go over here, the idea behind this is maybe a little bit more high performance. Hunding's Rage and the Scoria from City of Ash set. We're also going to use Dual Wield over Two-Hander as our primary damage ability. And the reason why is Rapid Strikes counts as a damage over time for Scoria and proccing Scoria. Also, if you use the Maelstrom daggers, you can do a ridiculous amount of damage over time. The downside of that build would be that it doesn't have a whole lot of burst. So it's more damage over time, sustained, applying dots. It'd be harder to play as well. But we'd have a lot more performance. We use Flame of Oblivions for a crit, rally, it'd be all melee. On the other hand, this will be less performance-based, but it would be easier to play. We use Evil Hunter and then a bow. We use Razor Caltrops and the Scorching Earth from the bow to do our AoE. So it would have a lot more burst. In PvE, you'd be using Wrecking Blow and then Dragonite Standard for a long, huge burn. In PvP, you'd be using Wrecking Blow for Empower and then a Take Flight for a lot of burst, which would be fun. So let me show you what this looks like in game to give it some context. Okay, we're in game now, and I want to give you a little context of what I'm talking about, the Burning versus the Brutal Butcher. Either way, we're going to be wearing Hunding's Rage, but where we get our main source of damage is determined by you, the people who vote. So one option, and the one that a lot of people use for stamina builds that don't have an ability that they can spam over and over, is Wrecking Blow. The good thing about this, it hits extremely hard, it's a stun, and it gives you Empower. That goes very, very well with Take Flight. Take Flight. It's your major bursty ultimate, super low cost, a lot of range. So especially if you want to use this for PvP, the combo that a lot of people use right now, and I've used for a while, is I fossilize my target, I do a Wrecking Blow to get the Empower, then Take Flight. So just to give you an idea what this looks like. And the reason I do fossilize first is a stun so they can't block my Wrecking Blow or dodge it. Then once that's hit, I do my Take Flight. It'd help if I had Take Flight on my bar, wouldn't it? Okay, buff, fossilize, Wrecking Blow, Empower, Airborne. That was a 20k non-crit Take Flight. So once we get all the crit and all their damage and all that sort of, that could be extremely powerful. How did I get a non-crit with 70% crit? Math. Anyways, so that's the idea behind that. Now the other build is centered around damage over time, using Dual Wield and kind of taking our time. I would imagine that we could use both of these for PvE, PvP, but the Brutal Butcher would probably lean on more of the PvP side, with the Burning would be more PvE and like trials and that sort of thing. So let me show you what this likes with the Valken Scorion. We'd use Flames of Oblivion because it does do a damage over time, 2 dots. And if we use the Maelstrom daggers, it can get really, really powerful, but we don't have to use that. And 2 dots, so you can just sit here and watch them burn. Now, Just depends on your play style. A lot of people don't use damage over time builds in this game, though I see it as a lot of fun. So which is going to be more powerful? Well, I don't know. I guess it just depends on the context. But I want you guys to decide this one. What do you want? Burning Butcher or Brutal Butcher? I think, once again, Brutal will probably be better for the average player and easier to play and probably be very, very good at PvP. Burning Butcher is probably a little bit more hardcore, but it has probably a better upside DPS and PvE. So, cast your vote. It will be on Twitter. I'm going to put it in the video description, so please cast that 24 hours, and then we're going to get to work with whatever you decide. Thanks so much for watching. Like, subscribe, and let me know what you thought of this video in the comments.